It's no secret, I love tech in Stellaris. Creating a super powerful empire as soon as possible is just something I love and so enjoyable. I've maybe done it too many times, so I thought I'd collect every single tip I picked up while tech rushing and condense it down into one run. These can be applied to any build you play, allowing you to eke out as much tech as possible to achieve any goal you have. I'll be running through the first 30 years of most of my tech rush games. Even if I'm not tech rushing, I do most of these tips. Now let's get into the empire build and then the gameplay. So here is where your game starts, the empire selection screen, and where Stellaris general guides are actually quite difficult because there's so many different ways you can play. I'm going to try and keep it as general as possible, but there's a few things we'll have to go over. Firstly, traits. You're gonna mainly have the same traits, and we're tech rushing, so intelligent is always the best pick. 10% more output. I pretty much take it in every game. I probably shouldn't, but it's just so good and it only costs 2 points. You can also buff up your tech even more by picking one of 3 natural towards techs. I always go engineers. This is because what is your aim in tech rushing? It's usually to build a very strong and efficient fleet that you can bully other empires and do what you want, make them vassals, not die. And where do all the fleet techs come in? Or at least most of them is in natural engineers. Could go natural physicists. If you're aiming for some sort of society rush, you could also go this. It's just what your aim is. Here we're aiming to get good techs for military. Next up is ingenious. Energy credits are just very good because you can use them to buy other resources that you might be lacking. It's also better the fact we've gone with a dry world. Dry worlds have a higher likelihood, not guaranteed, to have more energy districts. If you're going for more minerals, I'd recommend going frozen. If you're going for more food, go wet. Then, because we're going for very early game and not warring, I've gone psychological infertility. You could go non-adaptive. You need a -2 or unruly. I would not recommend repugnant. Amenities is very annoying to fix, and you don't want loads of pops working them. Then we've gone quarrelsome, as we will be producing unity from our factions as we're coming over to our ethics. The key thing with most of the decisions we make about other resources is to outsource them to other areas of the games and away from your pops. We want to cram as many pops into science worker jobs, but we can't operate at a massive deficit because the entire economy will collapse. Firstly, parliamentary systems. This is insane. Essentially, factions will form in your empire shortly after the game starts. That means unity from the get-go, but it also buffs faction output by 40%, and we've gone democratic, which gives us more faction approval, which means more unity, and also our ruler per skill level will get faction output. We've also gone fanatic egalitarian, as it gives us 50% more faction unity gain and 10% specialist job output, which helps with your researchers. Parliamentary also has a really good council position of increasing council agenda speed, and we'll get onto why that's important later. Now, I have done a video explaining why Genesis Guides is also very strong. It's because you can outsource the Unity production here. You can basically pick either one of these. You just need to produce Unity somewhere else, as traditions are very strong, but you don't want to waste jobs working the Unity jobs. So basically, one of your civic picks needs to produce you Unity, and those two are the best for that. Next is a pretty big meta pick, and that's Masterful Crafters. What do scientists consume when you're not a Gestalt? Consumer goods. Masterful Crafters gives you a different consumer good job called Artificers. These produce more consumer goods than base, and 2 trade value, so some just passive energy. Then, more importantly, every 3 industrial districts grant a building slot. This is just crazy. We need building slots for research labs. It just helps. You can go for other things if you want to not fully tech rush. Dark Consortium is also very good, as it just gives you a bunch of dark matter, which you can then sell for energy, and it also gives you some good edicts and dark matter from researchers. Functional architecture will give you some building slots. Meritocracy will just buff up your specialists, and planetscapers will give more resources. Basically, anything that would buff consumer good production and science production is very good as your second civic slot. I just personally preferred this combo, but again, you don't have to run this meta build. We're going to go through tips that help out in every build. The origin, I'm keeping it simple. We're just going prosperous unification because it's the most basic. It's still pretty good. Like, it gives resources from jobs for 20 years, but you can run any of these. Void Dwellers is unique in the fact that you can get research districts and you get more output there, so that might be the best for tech rushing. And there's just so many different origins. I thought we'd go the staple prosperous unification, and you can apply these to any of the other origins. And finally, the ruler, we're going to scientist as spark genius. Research speed is going to be a massively important element, and is why we've also gone on materialists for more research speed, but we also get academic privilege living standard. That is the build. In terms of settings, it doesn't really matter because this is going to apply to every game. We're going to play on my normal small galaxy with Grand Admiral, mid-game scaling, just so if we spawn next to a Fanatic Purifier, we don't just die instantly. Pop growth is default. And in tech cost, I've gone up from my 0.5 of normal to the kind of meta PvP standard, which is 0.75. One is very slow, but again, this will work on any settings. It's just going to take longer to finish techs, but it will for everyone in your galaxy, so everyone's at the same rate. But everything's default. We do have mid-game at 2250, so Grand Admiral kicks in at year 50, and then we'll just play. The first thing you're probably going to do is look at what techs you have. These, I would highly recommend going for economy straight away. The better economy you get, the more science you can produce. Between these, I'd go global energy management. This is because it unlocks an edict that is insane and gives you 50% technician output while giving technicians 0.5 upkeep, but they pay for themselves, so it doesn't matter. It also unlocks the energy grid, which buffs up your technicians, and of course I've talked about going energy. It's a no-brainer. Next, you want hydro bays or more unity. We got the more unity as it's to do with our origin, so we will go with that. Then again, in engineering, you want economy. However, assembly patterns is very, very strong. 25% build speed is nothing to turn your nose up at, especially early game when you're building so much, because we're going to be colonizing, we're going to be building up a capital. It just gets everything going way quicker. These are very good tech starts. I would have maybe preferred Hydro Base, and we'll get onto Hydro Base when we actually unlock it. Next up, you are going to look at your starting systems. Now, we did start on Sol, and that's because it's the best starting system in terms of getting your arc furnaces and Dyson Swarms. It has the most planetary bodies for a starting system, and Dyson Swarm. Yes, we're min-maxing. We're min-maxing. So you're going to find your habs worlds, make sure the same type, and I always check the size. You want the biggest one first, as you can start filling that first. So this is a size 22. We're going to instantly go and survey that. Now we're also going to switch over to Isolationist. We do not want to expand much. That is mainly because of Empire size. Going over 100 is going to increase the tech cost, but also we get 10% more unity rather than saving on outpost costs, which, it's fine. You could play it more optimally maybe and get these guaranteed systems first, then switch, but it's fine. Okay, next we need minerals. I'm going to buy about 20 to start with. The max you can buy is 42 before inflation kicks in and you're exponentially getting worse returns per what you're buying. You don't want to go over 42. These prices are pinned in my Discord. I'll be mentioning them throughout the video. Maybe we can have it up on screen so you can screenshot it too, but the Discord has it pinned in the Stellaris channel. We're also going to want consumer goods. We'll buy about 10. We can always adjust this depending on our economy. It doesn't update straight away. It'll take a month. Consumer goods will be used to build out colony ship, and we want to get our colonies up straight away. This is going to help the tech rush. Even though we're slowing down a little bit on the science output, 2 colonies are going to help massively. So let's get up to speed. Let's play the first month. As you can see, now things have changed. So we still have 28 energy per month. We're going to save it as we can save up for sprawling slums. And the consumer goods and alloys are kind of matching each other. We probably do actually want to buy a few alloys because we need to spend alloys to build an outpost. These numbers can probably be done a bit more optimized. I just kind of wing it because it can depend on what your origin is and stuff. So factions are finally founded. How do they work? So you can see they're giving us 19 unity, but why? So we have approval, which is basically how happy they are with us, and you can see their issues, which goes into their happiness. The happier they are, the more approval they have, and support, which is how many pops are in this faction, the more unity we get. So essentially, you want this faction that loves us to be the biggest, because they're going to give us the most unity and they're very happy with us. So we're going to come over and manage faction and then promote them. This will increase their attraction while it's active. So this is an egalitarian faction, so it's going to increase egalitarian ethics attraction, so more people will join this faction than the materialist one. Now, we still want the materialist one to be happy. We're not going to suppress them. Suppressing is just always bad. Look at those modifiers, very bad. But we're going to want to make the egalitarians happy. So we're going to actually fix this benevolent subjugation policy by coming over to policies and edicts, coming over to subjugation war terms, and just whack on benevolent. I can't say it, but we're going to whack it on. It doesn't really matter at the minute. We can always change it later. So when we play and it instantly updated, it goes to 100 approval. So we're just eking as much unity at the start as we can, which is very nice. So we do have our first tradition. This is a huge turning point for your empire because these traditions can add and do a lot for you. I always, as you might tell, go statecraft. I think this is maybe a personal preference, but it is very strong, mainly because it levels up your leaders and makes them insane, which is going to have insane effects on your head of research. as per level, you get research speed. Then they also get really good traits, which can help research speed, which we will get into. It also gives edict fund, which can really help with everything else. It's just good. You can also go prosperity, which basically buffs up your production. You could go discovery, which we probably will go after statecraft, which gives research speed and researcher upkeep reduction. We're going to grab statecraft first so that we can get XP launching. The reason we go it's so quick is because we do have an agenda that's almost done. Now, you might hear me bang on about research speed. Essentially, research speed is how much your total tech reduction goes towards, or at least gets buffed up towards the tech. So we have 20 engineering research a month, but because we have 10% more, we're getting 22.25. So the more research speed we get, the better our tech output is. So we're going to want both. Essentially, you want both. For anything that upgrades research speed, we take. Okay, we do have enough minerals for our first lab. We did miss it by like a month, but it's fine. We are just going to build a lab straight away. We are doing fine on every job. Let's just spam out research labs to start with, and then we'll worry about the economy. Next tradition, we're going to grab the XP gain just so we have it for when this infinite opportunities ends. Something you probably should have done at the start, which I've forgotten about, is come over to your military ship, transfer your ships, make one. Oh, we found a fanatic materials. Cool. Make one of them, put your leader in that one, and then use these boys to go and explore. See if there's any more planets out there that you can take, or find choke points, as we actually have a really nice spawn just to sit in this system and just tech rush. But we'll just go out and explore. This saves you building another science ship. And speaking of, we forgot to do the colony. You can tell I'm not doing this perfectly, and we're going to be absolutely fine. You can take this to different degrees, but as long as you get that colony ship up as soon as you can, and then start saving for the next one, you're going to be golden. I'm going to move the construction ship ready in Sirius as well, so they can instantly construct there. And look, we found a tropical world. It's not too useful for us now, but we know, oh, we may as well survey up to here and take that system. Next, we are going to get the council agenda speed. This is going to make the XP faster because council agenda is just going to go quicker. We also got the damn cultists. This is fine. We're going to just attack them and hope we kill them. We should kill them. While watching that, we will launch our agenda and watch everyone level up. Almost everyone. Infinite opportunities also gives us more happiness, which just means more output. It's good. So Genevieve, Barrington, these level ups are pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. So we're just going to grab more leader XP gain to hope that he gets better. But he is now giving us 4% research speed because he's level 2. The Chancellor, now this is a tough one because we want council agenda speed for more XP, but we also want more research speed. I'm actually going to take Politician because it's a level 1. We're very likely to get more level ups that upgrade these, but we're not likely to see Politician again. That's why we're taking that. Now the battle should be over soon, and we are now just going to completely ignore this event because when this project's done, it's going to spawn cultists everywhere. So we're going to ignore that. Also, the Celia here ran into an enemy. We probably should have been watching that. They didn't die luckily, and we will do the first contact. For the next agenda, I'm always going to expand the council because more councillors means we're getting more XP every time we launch the agenda. We definitely want that. The science ship's done. We'll survey the other habitable. We'll construct here. And since our consumer goods are doing fine and we have enough for the colony, we're going to come over to species, set rights, living standards, and then we have a bunch of living standards. Now, Utopia is from egalitarian and academic is from materialist. Materialist is quite crucial because you get access to this. Now, what it does is it gives your rulers and specialists more happiness, which most of our population is going to be, but it also, more importantly, gives 10% researcher output unless there's a consumer good deficit. However, look at the pop effects. We're basically doubling the consumer good output of our specialists, which is going to hurt a little bit, but we have consumer good production and we want science, which we should have been building more research labs. Oops. The next thing we're going to build after the research lab is actually an industrial district because if you remember, Masterful Crafters gives us a building slot for every 3 industrial districts. So we may as well just build that for a 3 building slot. We're also then going to queue up sprawling slums for that extra pop, and we hopefully won't forget to keep building. You always want to be building something, otherwise it's wasted time. Now, Eustace here, our Ministry of State, has a pick, and again, we do want agenda speed. Every single type of ruler can get that. Only scientists can get research speed. Edict fund's very good. So is minerals from jobs. So we'll just take minerals from jobs based on the same logic as before. And Cecilia here also get an upgrade. We'll just start buffing them up to give us more ship weapon damage for later on. Okay, we're going to move our colony ship now, ready to colonize here. You don't have to wait for your starbase to be up to build a colony ship, so this just speeds the process up. I could have been a bit quicker. That colony ship could have been in position, but it's fine. Now we're going to build that second colony ship for the second colony. And now we're just going to ignore statecraft. The finisher reduces empire size by 5%. We're not over 100, so it doesn't matter. So let's dip into something else, like discovery, because this is going to help with tech. Now, our economy is doing quite fine. We're going to stop buying so many alloys, and we'll start buying a bit more minerals. We want to get a healthy amount of minerals so that we can instantly build up our colonies, and we get a bit of tech for doing our first colony. Very nice. So we can actually start looking at what we're going to make these colonies into. This planet looks pretty insane for almost everything. This one we don't know yet, so we're going to actually have to wait till we survey that. We could just make them survey it and then survey the system. There we go. So this planet doesn't look too good for energy and minerals, so we're going to mainly focus on the industrial districts, energy districts, and minerals. Food will be produced by a technology we will hopefully get called Hydroponics. I'll explain them more later, but that's why we're ignoring the food district. This planet we just surveyed in Alpha Centauri looks not the best for minerals and energy because it doesn't have many of those districts and it's got no buffs to anything. However, Sirius Prime is looking pretty good for almost everything. I think we're going to make this energy since it has the most, and industrial districts can be built mainly on Alpha Centauri, and then our capital will slowly transition into minerals, and that solves every resource that we're gonna need. In terms of discovery, we are gonna go down this right path as we'll get more research alternatives, but we'll eventually get research upkeep reduction, which will save a lot on consumer goods since we're gonna have a lot of research labs. And food is getting very high and we don't need food now. We're going to sell 25 of it. Food we only really need to keep at 0 because once we've got our colonies, there's literally no use for them. So we just want to balance that out. We don't need to produce more. We just want to stay afloat. Industrial district's almost done. That's going to give us another building slot, which we can get a lab going. We'll probably put it above the sprawling slum. We'll get a pop going because it's so quick. Okay, we're going to keep making our way to research upkeep reduction. Our first tech's done. We just got a bunch of Unity and there are Hydro Bays. So what does the Hydro Bay do? It's a star-based building. So it will be located in this bottom slot here, and that means you can only build 1 per starbase, and it will produce 10 food with an upkeep of 1 energy, 50 alloys. If we do the maths on this, it's insane, as 10 food sells currently for 7 energy, so that's 6 energy profit. The alloys, of course, 50 of them is going to cost you 260 energy, but we are just producing alloys. We don't have to buy the alloys off the market, but with the 6 profit, it will take you 29 months to pay off, and then it's all profit. And here's the most important fact. It doesn't need pops to work. That means we can unemploy the food workers here, which only produce 8.3 and have food and consumer good upkeep, and make them research, which is what we want. Most of these tips are just outsource the jobs to things that don't use pops. Speaking of, we should probably get Alpha Centauri too. I'm very slow with these colonies. If you're playing quicker, you'll get them up quicker, which means your economy will expand quicker. So it is kind of vital that you speed along with those, but it's not too big of a deal if you kind of miss the timings a little bit. Now we colonize that. And our construction ship, now I'll build the mining stations because we have a lot of minerals and he doesn't really need to do too much. Just get constructing, thank you. So 5 years in, we're only at 124 tech. You might be wondering what the heck, this is meant to be tech rushing. Well, we're setting the foundation so that your economy doesn't collapse and it's going to explode, don't you worry. So we're just going to keep now building city districts, which give a building slot, and building labs. I think maybe the most optimal thing here though is to get rid of the commercial zone by replacing and building a lab, because the commercial zone gives trader and clerk jobs, which we don't really need to work. We're not working clerk jobs, so let's get tech first. It's quicker. Now we can reduce research upkeep. That's going to save on consumer goods. Let's see how much. Get +3, but it's going to stack over time. Then our engineering tech planetary build speed is done, which is great. Time for our colonies. Now time for the next tech. Again, economy. We're going to go work a pop resource output, I think, but it's close between 0G refineries. Yeah, we're going to go work a pop output just because we're going to get more and more buffs for those, but mining station output's very good too. So we did get our Corvette back, which I've also forgot about. We can send them off to explore, and this planet was a pre-FTL. I knew that based on previous game logic because Denby is a pre-scripted system, but we got to assume that you don't know what's going on, or at least I don't most of the time anyway. Okay, so this colony we said is going to be energy. I like to just set it as a generator so I don't forget, and then we're just going to build a generator district straight away. Physics finally finished. We got the energy grid, which means, you know what? Let's queue up an energy grid there too. In terms of tax, I say economy, but if you ever see research, get research. Research speed for more upkeep. Who cares about the upkeep? We will be producing consumer goods. Let's get research speed up to 12% now, which every time we up our tech, each category gets buffed by 12%. You could also have a look at your leaders to see if you get a spark of genius. Well, we're just going to keep with Genevieve here. But to be honest, we do need another scientist because we want to put them on our capital now. I'm going to go for Stellaris Savoy, named by our Patreons. If you want names to show up, or fleet names like the Freebooters or T-Bringers, you could submit them via Patreon, YouTube membership, or Twitch subs by linking your account and joining the Discord. It's much appreciated. So we're going to put Stellaris Savoy, mainly because they get more planetary build speed, and hope... Oh, they got Spark of Genius. Okay, well, he's going to be recruited as our new head of researcher. So why have I just put a scientist on a capital? Well, scientists give us 2% per level to all scientist categories and also reduce empire size and reduce upkeep from jobs. Now we're going to put our governor on the second planet. What do? Well, they do give us basic advanced strategic resource from jobs, 2% per level, and reduce empire size, and also give amenities. But our capital is just science. Why are we making our capital just science? Well, the empire capital designation is the only one that gives a flat 10% resource from jobs. The science designation, Tech World, only reduces upkeep. So to actually get more output, we have to build our tech on our capital, and then we can just make our generator world, which gives us 25% technician output. So it's a bit more efficient to do it that way. Now, we also don't want just science from jobs going to our other planets, as you can see the sector governor effects. So what we're going to do is put a governor on every other building, as these buffs, the 2% for jobs, override the sector buffs from the scientist. So when Alpha Centauri's done, we're going to get another governor there, because this is going to be industry. And you might be seeing we're in negative resources, but we're minus 3 food per month from 1,000. This is fine. You don't need to panic. We can maybe adjust it a little bit, like so. Maybe stop buying so many consumer goods, but we can just float at 0 or slight negatives. Same with energy. It's only minus 8. It's fine for now. Now, to fix our energy, we're going to come over to our second planet. And now that we have technicians, we're going to stop working colonists, as colonists only produce amenities at planetary build speed. We don't care about that. Let's give us 9 energy, shall we? And we can come over to government, policy and edicts, and now we have capacity subsidies from that tech for 50% technician output. Yes, please. So watch our tech go from negative to plus 17 because they're also buffing our technicians. Now we're going to get a building slot, so we're going to build, that's right, another research lab. So we are just doing any first contacts we see, a bit more influence, good to know who's around you. And society research done, we'll just grab edict fund, as we will be running edicts, and these costs grow with empire size. So you can see the base was 30, but we're getting plus 76 because we have 76 empire size, so it's 53. Something I've completely forgotten to do, and I should have done earlier, is switching to civilian economy. This will give us 25% consumer good output, but reduce alloys. We don't really need alloys at this stage of the game. We just need consumer goods, so we'll whack that on now. Now, something you could do is switch the designation to factory world, which will make all jobs into consumer goods and give more consumer good output. So we're up to 42. However, we are losing the science output, so I'm going to stay on Empire Capital. And also we will need alloys to build hydro bays, which we can now start doing. Before we start doing that, we'll fortify the border on for more starbase upgrade speed and more capacity, so we can get 5 starbases instead of 3. Build those, and that means 50 food. We're going to replace the crew quarters since we don't have ships to dock and make a hydro bay. But food, we're also going to make the science ship explore this way, I guess. See if they can find... we'll just do auto explore. See if they can find any more planets. And construction ship will go to Denby. We're going to aim to finish discovery, as we'll get 10% research speed, and we're just going to keep building slots so we can get labs. Again, we're just going to go for economy. You could go robots. These will scale later in the game, but I'm just going to go economy with a true tech rush. Now we have our third colony. Again, we're going to find a governor, recruit them. We could find someone that's better than our current one for council stuff, but he's pretty good. So I'll grab someone who's good for a planet like planetary build speed. Then we're going to turn this into consumer good world for now to build our consumer goods and just start building an industrial district so we don't have to work a colonist. Okay, we are going to need to free up some district slots to keep getting building slots, so we'll queue up blockers. And we do want a couple more systems, as we need more star bases, which we can also now build hydro bays for. Now, sometimes your economy goes weird. We're selling food, but not producing any minerals. Let's buy the full 42 as well. Because our capital, for some reason, not working the mining jobs. So we're going to get rid of the farmer jobs and the clerks to actually work the mining jobs. Again, anything that gives research output, we're going to go. We've already colonized our 3 planets, so we're not going to go colony development speed. Just a bit more tech output. Why not? And just keeping up with your economy. We have 2 slots filled of technicians, so we'll build another generator district. We did actually find a ruined science nexus, which is hilarious. We can maybe try and expand to there. Now the industry district's done on our third colony. Goodbye, colonists. We can also build a civilian industries for that. Yeah, actually, we'll cancel that so that we can start building another lab. Our ruler's leveled up, and look, we get options of upgrading those too. Let's go for the research speed now. Hydro bays are now up. We're actually going to destroy 2 of the agriculture districts to save on the 1 upkeep, but we're not working them. We do have the Denby system. Very nice. We will manually just build some mining on the minerals because we can't do all of them at once, and then we will build that starbase, as well as build another science ship just to start serving in the direction that we want to go, probably towards this ruined science nexus. Okay, so we are getting our first election. We are in charge and have the most support, so we will stick with that. We're not going to do anything. We want us to basically remain the leader so we can get 2 research speeds in our council. Okay, council agenda is ready to pop. Now, something I always forget to do but should do is before we activate it, turn on education campaign for 10% more leader XP gain. Now, when we actually activate this and get the 150 experience from Statecraft, it will add 10% onto that. So it's just eking a little bit more XP. So if we pop that, we get a bunch of level ups, Hostility 2, and let's get more Edict Fund. Now we can get another Councillor. We are going to go Council Agenda Speed because more agendas popped means more XP, which means better head of researchers and chancellors and stuff. We'll put a newly assigned governor there, and they can start leveling up there. Tech's done. When you have a choice like this with no economy, just go for the best thing, which is afterburners. Afterburners are so good, and pop growth speed. In terms of the next agenda, I think we want to go for effective councillor skill when we launch it, because this is going to buff up everyone here. But more importantly, the head of researcher will be basically level 4 because of the effective skill, giving us 4 more % research speed, which we are up to 23 on each now. We're also exploring to try and find the creators. The creators are an enclave that can help with research speed. We did actually just get a level 4 leader from hiring them. We could make them, yeah, we definitely want to put them on the council because we can get statistician, which is further 5%. We'll swap that around, put us up to 32% because he's also level 4, giving us even more research speed. Yeah, it gets crazy. We're going to start serving towards the ruined megastructure. We did find an enclave. It's purple, which means it's the artisans, but that'll help with unity. Okay, let's start selling any excess food and building up more consumer goods, and we'll start building more building slots, but we'll replace the agriculture district when we can. We're up to 252 science now, and we will grab more energy. Oh, because we hired that level 4, they got assigned to our chancellor. That's fine. We'll just put us here. We're level 3. We lose a little bit of research speed, but it's fine. And then we'll put them in here, and we don't need to buy 9 consumer goods anymore since we're positive. And just remember to keep building hydro base. We do not need to work a single food job, my friends. Oh, we got a mining corps. That's very annoying. It means we can't expand that way. Well, anyway, they're all surrounding us, so we are just playing tall, I guess. Go and explore. We are stuck. Let's survey these systems so we can get another starbase going. And I keep forgetting to move the military ship. That's something you can do better with when you're playing your games. And actually, the food from jobs sucks, but we get food from starbase construction, which is hydro base, so we may as well take that. 10% is +1 to each. I see that as an absolute win. And we're going to go for more economy, mining station output, and we can start, we'll build an observation post as well. Why not? Here again, no economy benefits, so we will just grab blue lasers because they will eventually unlock disruptors, which are very good early game. And more tech, more. Artisan troop is found as predicted, so we can actually talk to them and become their Patreon for 1,000 energy, which gives us 10% more monthly unity and 20 opinion, which is pretty good. Eventually, when we get enough opinion, we can organize a festival, which will give us pop growth speed, which is also very good because more pops means more resources. We will save up to do that, I think. Okay, we can finally finish discovery off, which means we can get our first ascension perk, which is usually always tech ascendancy. 10% research speed is just solid, and we can get more rare techs, which are killer structures and good stuff. We'll take that. Also finishing discovery, we get 10% research speed, and the last one we took was research subs. So we're going to go to policy and edicts and have a look at that. Gives us 10% research output for the cost of 1 energy per researcher. We only want tech. We will activate that, and because we've built up a lot of edict fund, we're good. We're still under the limit. We can also turn off education campaigns. I forgot to do that. Once we activate the council thing. And now we can actually become a patron. Bit more unity. More mining station output. And we had to go for a blocker here. Gene clinics are not good. It takes a long time for them to pay off, and we don't need food. We could do naval cap. Actually, we should do naval cap. Okay, when the amenities start getting low, we will need to work a colonist job. Stability gives us resources when positive and takes away when we're negative, so we don't want to be negative. We're finding a bunch of people have Spark of Genius too. We will take, just in case our leader dies, I guess. We'll take the plus habitability. We're at 70%. The more habitability we have, the slightly better the economy. Okay, if you ever see exotic gas refineries, take them. Gases will be able to upgrade our labs when we get the tech. So we're going to want those. We're going to want gases. We're almost filled up with labs and we're producing 339 research. Again, get rid of these stupid farmers. Stop working the farmer jobs. We don't have to sell food. It gets a bit confused because you go negative, I guess, is what's happening. And if you ever see, get out of my way, Courier Enclave, for a second. Dyson Swarm, you take the Dyson Swarm. It's very good. It's going to let you essentially outsource your energy to stars. Random events, just take whatever you need. We'll take the minerals since we don't need influence because we're trapped. But we will finish off these systems. Again, star bases. If you are Hive, you can build solar panels, which give you energy. Those are so good. 100% build them. And now we can actually go and finish off statecraft. More effective council skill gonna mean more research speed. What are we up to now? 52%. So basically, we're gaining half of what we output on top. So these are going very quickly. Cancer agenda, again, whack on education campaigns, which we could probably keep on. More XP is fine. We've got enough energy. Put this on. Now effective skill +2 again. And statistician. Statistician. So another 5% research speed. Yes. Next agenda, we will just grab monthly unity. What's our research speed on now? 63%. More. Need more workers here. We will oblige. State district done. Research lab to be built. Then we're going to replace the admin office with the research lab. We kept it as long as possible because it doesn't hurt to just get some unity. Then all we could do is wait for the tech to upgrade them. And our scientists just died in the pirates. Well, now we are fully trapped. It's fine. We'll grab colonial centralization. Gives us more capacity and will give us upgraded capitals. So you can see we're still below 100 empire size because we've not really expanded much. I probably wouldn't have expanded much more than this, even if we weren't blocked. And this is just being very efficient early game. There's any extra cost to techs is just very sad. Another Hydro Bay. Okay, I'm actually going to build a city district when we can here to build a hollow theater just to cure the amenities. Currently they are very sad and colonists don't give much amenities. Hollow theaters give 20 per job rather than 3. So we'll only have to work 1. And if you see arc furnaces, you take arc furnaces. Okay, work the minerals, please. We need minerals. For mining drone work ethic, I always take mining station output. It's so good, especially with kilo structures now. Speaking of, we're about to get Dyson Swarms, so we probably will build that. We want to check the best star. We have 2 6s on our capital and in Denby, so we will do that, as well as get upgraded Nexus. Okay, Dyson Swarm being built. It does cause unity, which is a bit annoying, as we don't have much production. Get most of it, pretty much all of it, from factions. Hey, what can you do? Let's get that hollow theater going. We can get a Grand Archive. Sure, why not? Probably shouldn't have done that. It's a bit of a waste. We got something that will give us tech, so it could be useful, but we're probably going to spend our alloys on kilo structures such as arc furnaces and Dyson Swarms. Yeah, capital is maxed out now of research labs. Let's have a look at all the bonuses we stack, shall we? Research subs, empire capital, prosperous unification, high stability, fanatic egalitarian, governor skill, intelligent, academic privilege, and natural engineers to engineering. So we're producing almost double tech than the base of 3, and we also have 63% research speed. It's coming along a lot. Okay, hollow theaters up. We will limit that to 1 job, and we can start working colonists and clerks when we get enough generated jobs to work. And we did find Zero Corp, which sells exotic gases. I might just do this. I like that. Let's do 3 of them. Okay, let's start working that clerk. Good. We need more energy. Arc furnace done. We definitely need mining stuff. Do we have any good arc deposits? 9, 9, 5. And then 20 on our capital. Our capital is just very good. We'll definitely build that after for more minerals. And our head of researchers have just swapped. Who's elected? We'll allow it. Expertise, we'll go with materials just because that's more economy. We did free up a slot because we got 3 industrial districts, but we're going to need a hollow theater for the amenities. You can see consumer goods have not been a problem. We're actually building up a lot. We could sell them if our energy was low, but building up a stack of them is good because we could switch to alloy production and just eat into our big stockpile. We did get energy grid, but we don't have planetary administration California, which we need 10 pops to then upgrade Energy Nexus, which gives us 2 more energy credits from jobs. The Dyson Swarm is here. Let's build the arc furnace as well. That's going to give us so many minerals. We don't really need to then worry about minerals on our capital. We can upgrade our capital as well, which is always good. It's going to give us another building slot. So I'll replace the city district that's giving us a building slot with, let's just do an industrial district. Because if we can get the 3 of those, that's another building slot, which we can get rid of the city district. It's just managing the building slots. The only issue is the amenities. We'll work 1 clerk to fix that. And we'll grab more faction approval, which will give us more unity. Energy from jobs. We'll go the Grand Archive. Why not? Because we can activate these, which will give us stability in science. You can see, like, we're flying through techs now. We can organize that festival. We need 1,000 energy. So we can just sell 500 consumer goods to get that done. Why not? Don't know how. I swear we were at 400 science. I don't know how that's gone down. Yeah, we don't need that clerk anymore because we upgraded. Now we got more mineral deposits. We'll upgrade that. We just need 1,000 unity, which is the problem. If we had more planets, we could maybe build another science world or unity. We are just playing like we got very unlucky and limited to 3 planets. We have not got that science tech to upgrade the labs, which is really annoying. We got the exotic gases for it and all. Some of it is just luck. We're building up a very strong economy. This is the whole point of tech rushing. Our economy is going to the moon, which is going to let us have the ability to research really good military techs and then just go crazy and kill everything. I mean, we've not even met an empire. Don't know how. Okay, we're gonna go for the cheapest tech to try and reroll to get the research upgrades. Action output's very good since that's all our unity. Oh, there is an empire here and a fanatic xenophobe all empire. I think it is worth doing these researches if they're low. Like this 21-month one, probably not worth it, but space amoebas can be worth. I can't really remember what they do. Oh my gosh, we didn't get it again. We're just gonna keep going for the low cost ones to keep re-rolling. We'll grab rare crystals. Now we can get evasion. That's what it does. Probably not worth doing that right now then. Finally upgrade this generate district, which is going to make us have so much energy because then we can upgrade the energy nexus. And still no labs. Well, we would take the disruptors here, I guess. Bam, we can upgrade the energy and literally we could just build an exotic gas refinery if we didn't have exotic gases. Take cross. Done. We reduce that empire size, get as close to 100 as possible, and we will probably just take more monthly unity. The more we could buff that up, the less we actually have to build any of it. Remember, the more pops we get, the more unity we're getting from these because they're overall bigger, and both of these just love us. With these spare building slots you get from spamming industrial districts, you can build whatever you want. If you need more unity, we may as well build tech just for a bit more. I don't really know why our tech keeps going down. I'm so confused. Or maybe I'm losing my mind. Could be that. More stale bases, yes. No, because they're not working. They'll work the damn researchers, you silly. Again, no upgraded labs. We're just incredibly unlucky with the labs. Here we are at EFA. We got to 400 tech. But as you can see, we are kind of flying through these techs. We've gotten arc furnaces, rare resources. We're still on corvettes, but we can get disruptor corvettes, Dyson swarms, upgraded grids with a pretty bad spawn, unless you want to hunker down. We didn't get any extra planets. And if you wanted to, we'll just switch our economy all the way over to alloys and see how crazy it could get. Go to militarized economy. This is a forge world now. Start working consumer goods and the tech, I guess. Change this into alloys. 54 alloys. You could get a good fleet that would bully any AI. Not going to be up to scratch with PvP map because people will be utilizing the origin a lot more, playing a lot more optimally. But this is the general way you want to tech rush, and it just keeps going. Like, the longer you're doing this for, the better it is. You'll just get so strong, but you definitely want to shift into murdering people. We didn't actually find anyone. There are empires. Spawn was so weird. If you've enjoyed this and want to see me apply this into other games, I mainly do this in my achievement videos to get the achievements done very quickly, so watch my achievement series here. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helped out a bunch.